Oh, yeah. It is finally time. We have made it. The first redraft of the season. All right. So, what we got here is first we're selecting a draft for one of the leagues. And then after that, we're going to go roll right into a live draft of another one of my leagues. So, you can see all the stuff that we've talked about here on the channel, things that we're implementing live, um, not just things that we talk about, things that we actually are being about. So I know some people want to have different strategies. Do we go hero RB? Do we go zero RB? Do we go hero wide receiver? Um, it's all going to depend on your draft. So what we're going to see tonight is we're going to see how that draft is going to play out, how we're going to adjust, different things like that. Players that you should reach for, shouldn't reach for. You'll actually be able to see that live, not just from myself, but from 11 other live draftees. So, what we're going to do first is the draft order for the inaugural Kingmaker Sports Fantasy Football League. It's a 12-man league. The settings on it. I tried to. I mean, some people told me they're pretty standard, but I don't know. Just kept it pretty fun. So in this league, we're not doing any kickers or defense. So I feel like that's just a waste of time. We can use more skill positions, and that way we're not wasting our time on draft picks that really don't make that big a difference at the end of the day. So we're going to go with one quarterback, okay, but it is PPR, okay. But for tight ends, this is a tight end premium. It's 1.75 points per reception. That's what makes it premium. I know some people like to do a little different, 2 points and all that kind of stuff. Go a little bit more extreme. Some people are a little more conservative, 1.5, but 1.75 seems to be kind of like that sweet spot for the tight end position if you're going to go tight end premium. In this league, in the Kingmaker Sports League, it's going to be all-purpose 6-point touchdowns. So even passing is going to be 6 points. Okay, so that means it didn't matter anymore about having a running quarterback. So if you got somebody like Lamar Jackson or somebody like that who can run for a touchdown and throw a touchdown, Josh Allen same way, great. Now you're going to get 6 points for the passing touchdown as opposed to the standard 4 that are in a lot of leagues. This league will have waivers. They are going to be waivers on Tuesdays. That way, we can go ahead and get ahead of that stuff. But here on Kingmaker Sports, we will be doing waiver shows Mondays, and then Tuesday mornings that video will post. So that way you can get ahead of your competition. Not scrambling and Wednesday morning got to wait, all that stuff. You can go ahead and just who you're going after on Tuesday morning in your waivers. So this one here, it's $50 buy-in. It's first year, keeping it simple, not getting too crazy with it. Because I feel like first year just going, balls out, extreme, it's not going to be worth it. So for the first year, it's going to be 50. Every year after this will go up. So that's going to keep it pretty fun. But this is an actual like Kingmaker Sports League. So this is the one for the brand. The winners, we will get championship rings. I have those ordered. They're on the way. And what's going to make it really, really interesting is loser punishments. Okay, so it's not just like, oh, you suck, or you get, just some loser trophy or whatever like that. You will actually have a punishment, and you will have to record yourself doing this punishment. So don't think that you're going to get away with it, because you won't. So first prize is not only are you going to win the championship ring, but for this year, because it's $50 buy-in, it's just $400 for the first place winner plus a ring. And then you get $150 for our second place, and then $50 third place. Third place, you should always pretty much get your money back in every format, I believe. Some people do winner take all, which is fine. Do whatever you want in your league. That by all means, do your thing. But in this one, we're going to do it to where third place, which is still a medal position in the Olympics, so it counts for something. You at least get your money back. So that's something to look forward to, making the playoffs. So our starting roster is going to look something like this. So we're going to have one quarterback. You'll have 2 wide receiver slots. You'll have 2 running back slots. You'll have a tight end, and then you'll have 2 flexes. Now, those flexes are going to be your running back, wide receiver, and tight end. We mentioned before, this is not super flex. We're not going to have quarterback flex, just one quarterback. All right. On our bench, it's only going to be 5 spots. Just 5. Everybody that's in this league, you've been invited because you have talent. You have the skill to be here. Okay, we're not going to have 7, 8 different bench spots. That's too much. We're going to do 5. And we're also going to do 1 IR spot. Okay, IR is only going to be for injuries. We're not having IR for holdouts, which we don't really have that problem this year. That's not an issue anymore. But it's just for injuries only. All right, so there's your IR spot. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at who we're going to have. So I have queued up here. I'm using Fantasy Pros. They have a random draft, like a draft order generator. Okay, so I went ahead and put in here our 12 participants. Let's see here. Let's scroll down a little bit. So our 12 participants, we've got Tony, Derwin, we got Blake, myself, Mick, Nick, that's a little confusing, Jason, Duffy, Jeff, who is my partner over there on Unstable, Colts podcast. Any Colts fans or anybody you want to check that out, check me and Jeff out over there. Slayton, Slayton and Mick are my partners over here on Kingmaker Sports, where we talk all things fantasy football, training camp news, trade buzz, all that stuff. We're going to be your guys to go to for your waivers, your starts and sits. I'll be going live every Sunday morning before games, so that way you can go ahead and help your lineup out. We can go ahead and fix it, see what's going on, who we think is going to be good. And last but not least, Alex. So these are our 12 participants for the inaugural Kingmaker Sports Fantasy Football League. You gentlemen, welcome. Congratulations. I'm honored to have you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Hopefully this league lasts a long time, and hopefully Kingmaker Sports lasts a long time, and we bring a lot of championships to people all around the world in this fun game that we call fantasy football. That is about near made me want to rip my hair out today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and generate our draft order, and that'll tell us our live draft will be here. It will be live next week. It's a sleeper league, so that's pretty cool. A lot of these guys have never done a sleeper league before. So we did one with the Curtis Podcast Network last year, which was really fun. And we had all the guys from the network, the guys from the Titans show. We had the Texans guys, the Jaguars guys, Jeff and myself. So it was pretty fun. But without further ado, we will go ahead and generate this draft order and talk about it a little bit. What positions we like, what spots, what players we think are gonna do well. But so let's go ahead and click it. 3, 2, 1. All right, so it popped out. We got Brother Blake first overall. We got Jason number 2, Tony number 3. We got Snipes by Slate number 4. We got Big Duffman number 5. We've got my tag team partner Jeff at number 6. I'm coming in at number 7. We got Mick Lipper, Big Mick, at number 8. We got the doctor in the house, Greg White, at number 9. We got my man Derwin at number 10, Hook 'em Horns. We got Alex, and then closing it out, we got Nick with Nick Kirby Realty out in Los Angeles. Go if you're looking for a house, you're looking for great service, go see Nick Kirby out there. He will take care of you. Make sure you get the best deal possible. So looking at these here, I know that we got certain people are fans of certain teams. So these are some things that I'll probably be looking at when I go to draft. Hey, what am I going to look like? So obviously, number one, with it not being a super flex league, it's not going to be a super flex. So Blake, I know that he's a Redskins fan or a Commanders fan. So he is going to be he's not going to go Jaden Daniels first overall, because if this was super flex, he probably would 100%. I wouldn't expect anything less. But so I know that, okay, we're good on that. I'm going to be thinking about what Washington players is he going to target. Okay, players like Terry McLaurin, players like maybe Brian Robinson Late, uh, players like Jaden Daniels. So yes, that's somebody that everybody should want. But I will be knowing, okay, if he's in front of me and I've got if he's in front of me and I've got um, a pick coming up and I need a quarterback in a certain round, I know, okay, he's probably going to be targeting Jaden Daniels if he doesn't have a quarterback either. Um, so Jason, he's a Patriots fan. He's got a lot to be excited about. Travion Henderson, Drake May, he's got a lot to be excited about. Travion Henderson's going to be a big target. He's showing out in the preseason. So seeing what Travion Henderson's going to do, I'm expecting big things. I like what he's doing. He's got good hands, and he's rushing the ball very well. So Jason, I wouldn't be surprised if he was looking for Travion Henderson early instead of late, which I wouldn't blame him at all. Let's see here. Let's see, Tony. I don't really know what team he's a fan of. I want to say Cowboys. But I could be wrong on that. So Tony, don't get too mad at me, bro. Like I want to say Cowboys, which that's going to be interesting to see if you are a Cowboys fan, how that's going to interact with you and Blake, him being a Washington fan. Then Slayton. So Slayton's a big Rams fan, so I know he's gonna what players he's gonna be looking at. He's gonna be looking at Puka Nacua, like off rip, probably first round. He's probably gonna go Nacua. He might go Nacua right here at 4, but he probably won't because this is depending on what the draft strategy is. There, are we gonna go running back early? Are we gonna go wide receiver early? So this is something that we could be very interested to see what Slayton's gonna do here. And then Duffy, I don't know what he's a fan of, but that number 5 to 7 spot right there, I really like drafting the middle right here to where Duffy, Jeff, and myself are at, because I feel like that's the best spot to draft at, because then you're not waiting at like pick number 1, like how Blake has pick number 1 right there. We don't have to worry about waiting pretty much 2 rounds just about to come back and make another pick. I don't feel like the first pick is worth that to me. Yeah, Blake over here, he's got JD5 pick number 1. Hey, do it, man. Like the great thing about him is, dude, he's gonna produce. So even if you take him first, even in a non-super flex league, I think you're gonna be okay. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. But hey, it's your money, brother. You do what you get. You do what you do. I'm not gonna be mad at you. But so like Jeff at the 6th spot, that's pretty nice. Like that 6, 7, like I said, those are the nice spots there. So that'll be good. You could get a quality player there. And then you got Mick coming up at number 8. And then Greg, who I know for a fact is a Cowboys fan, so he may be looking at CeeDee Lamb here if he's still available, which I wouldn't be mad at. The Cowboys offense on paper always looks good, so I wouldn't be mad at you if you wanted to go CeeDee Lamb here right there, Greg. That would be a great pick, honestly. But do us all a favor and take like Javonte Williams right there. That'd be awesome. So Derwin, this is going to be interesting. So Derwin has some pretty good football insight. So he kind of knows what's up. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do it, because he's going to take a pick here at 10 and then come back around 4 picks later. So this is a kind of a good spot if you want to go ahead and just stack a couple players and then don't have to worry about it for a little bit. This back end of the first is a really nice spot. So Alex is a multi-time champ in Dynasty, and this, like, Alex has been playing a long time, so I'm not worried about him here like taking somebody that he shouldn't take. Alex is also a Cowboys fan, so that's going to be interesting to see with Greg and Alex being so close right there at the 9 and the 11 spot. That's going to be interesting to see. Are they going to be sniping each other, and like who's going to end up with Dak, right? Because Dak's not bad for fantasy football. It's just for regular football, he's just not great for the Cowboys. But that is going to be interesting to see. I'm gonna be monitoring that. That's going to be interesting to see who's going to snipe who on what players and what kind of crap they're going to be talking. So rounding out the first round at number 12, we got Nick, the realtor, Nick Kirby, going to make all your home dreams come true out in California. He's a Raiders fan, so that's going to be something to look at, because I know, like, he might take rookie Genty here at 12, which Genty looked pretty solid yesterday. So I would not be mad at that. I think it's a little early for rookies, like to really take rookies outside of, we had the year Saquon and then Bijan. And so I wouldn't be upset at taking Genty right here at 12. I really wouldn't. I don't think that's a bad pick. If you want to do that, because then you got to think he can take Genty at 12, or he can take Genty at the 201 spot. So it just depends on kind of who's there, who he wants. I mean, you can snag up Genty and kind of bank on the production of that, and then come around and take a good wide receiver at that 13th pick. So this is a good spot right there. If you decide to go ahead and take Genty there, it's not something that you should really be concerned about, because looking at I don't know. So it all depends on what you want to go. Do you want to go running back heavy? Do you want to go running back early? Do you not want to go running back at all until like your fourth round, fifth round, and try and get one of these sneaky plays? I mean, it's really up to you at the end of the day, because I don't think that you can go wrong as long as you're getting your guy. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at you, because I'm big on getting your guy. I've reached a whole round ahead before for guys because I just really feel that strongly. And dude, nobody really should be messing with you on that. So if we're looking at, since we're already here at Fantasy Pros website. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. So let's zoom it in a little bit. So looking at their rankings here, okay, what they're saying now, of course they have tiers. You see tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then so on and so on, right? So if you're looking here, where does it say Ashton Genty? So it's not even showing Ashton Genty in that top 12 right now. So if you wanted to, and this is PPR format for rankings, so we're not selecting Superflex. It's just a general overall. No surprise at the top: Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, blah blah blah. But I am kind of surprised Nico at number 10 that they have him that high. But I mean, they got a lot of weapons there. They just traded John Mechie today to the Eagles for I want to say it was like Harrison Bryant maybe, or something like that. Pretty much it's a trade that doesn't change anything. There's nothing special about this. They swapped some 5th and 6th round picks. It really did nothing. I like John Mechie a lot coming out of Alabama. My heart really felt for him when he got sick his rookie year, and then he just hasn't recovered from that. So I really hope that John Mechie finds his stride in Philadelphia and goes on and has a great career. I really do. So, good luck to you, man. I'm a fan of you, John Mechie. So they got Genty at 18. All right. I would not be upset if, let's say Kirby wanted to reach for him at 12. Really, from what we saw in the preseason, I wouldn't be mad at you. But you got to think, am I going to take Genty over? Now, this is PPR. Keep in mind, this is PPR, okay? How many passes is Genty going to catch? Think about that. He's competing with Brock Bowers, okay? He's competing with Jacoby Myers, okay? And who knows, this new kid, Deontay Thornton Jr., could come out and be pretty good, all right? So you also have to think about that. So are we going to take Genty over McConkey, who is a PPR machine for Justin Herbert? Are we going to take him over Achane? I don't think so. I think I'm still taking Achane because I know what I have in Achane, right? That I know that they're going to run the ball. They're going to pass the ball to him. We got Brock Bowers over Genty. After the rookie season that Brock Bowers had last year, I think you have to do that. You have to take Brock Bowers over Genty. So I agree with that. And then we have Drake London, who – so the thing is, I love the talent of Drake London. I'm just not crazy about Michael Penix Jr. I like the prospect of him. I like the prospect of what you call it. I like the prospect of dang it, what am I thinking of here? I like the prospect of Penix, but the thing is I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him as far as an NFL quarterback. All right. So that's the thing, is I have to think, okay, do I believe in Michael Penix Jr.? Because it's very rare that we find receivers that are quarterback proof. Okay. Do I think that Drake London is quarterback proof? I don't. I think Drake London is very good, but I don't think he's quarterback proof. If Michael Penix does show up and show out, then yeah, Drake London, man, Drake London to the moon, and then hopefully he can help that dying breath of Kyle Pitts, who's just struggling over there. He has not lived up to what we wanted. He had came out and had 1,000-yard rookie season, but after that, just nothing. So if you have been holding Kyle Pitts, I mean, you just watch his stock just fall and fall. McCaffrey, man, this is the only way I take McCaffrey is in the second right here. I think that I'd want to go ahead and I like the longevity of Genty over McCaffrey, but with it being season long, then yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna go McCaffrey because I know that offense is gonna go through him and Kittle, and so I do like McCaffrey here. I'd probably put Genty maybe over AJ Brown just because of what we saw from the Eagles last year. That's the only reason I'm saying that. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here. Going with Genty there. Now, so if we're also looking at the draft order, let's see where I'm at, right? So number 7, it's saying Amon Ra. I mean, you'd be crazy not if this is how the board laid out, right? So who could drop? If Amon Ra goes early and I'm stuck between like Malik, let's say I'm stuck between Malik Neighbors and Puka Nakua, right? I'm probably going to end up going Nakua just because I don't believe in Russell Wilson. Oh, hold on 1 second. We got an emergency here. Got to change the draft order real quick. All right. Looks like we've got to put our draft order here in this. Let's go edit draft. Back to this page. All right. Stand by. Yeah, we had something going on. It's loading the draft now. I guess it didn't accept the custom draft order that we did earlier. So hopefully, with any luck, I had to override it a little bit. It's loading the draft room now. So if you can see, this is what I'm looking at. It says league draft loading. So I had to go in. It tried to reschedule us for next week. Didn't know. That's what we'll do. So it's just trying to load it in. So we're gonna go ahead and close that. Okay, so it's drafting now. Let's see. Let's refresh that. League is drafting now. It's still loading in. All right, there we go. 4th and goal. Let's make sure this is right. All right, everything looks right. Okay, so we're good. We are good, everybody. Okay, so here's our draft. Draft is gonna start in 8 minutes. All right, so you gotta take a piss. Go take a piss. Get something to drink. Grab you a cold beer. We're good to go. All right, so crisis averted. It's just little delay. If you don't like it, you can. You know what I mean by that, all you old heads out there. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what we got. We got breaking news on here. What kind of breaking news do we got? So looking at this, man, it looks like the Washington Commanders have been shopping running back Brian Robinson Jr. to teams around the NFL. That's pretty interesting. Um, So either they don't believe in him or they're just trying to cash out before the value dips. They're out there playing fantasy football over here, trying to cash in on that 2 to 3 year window and then dump them off to let them be somebody else's problem. I don't know, man. I like Brian Robinson Jr. If I can snag him up for a second, late second or something like that, I think that'd be good. But it also depends on if you're selling, if you're buying. That also makes a difference. So be wary of that if you're in Dynasty. And we talked about John Mechie getting traded for Harrison Bryant. And let's see here. So who all we got in here? Let's here sound off in the comments. Who we got in here? All right, so we'll look at. So this league here is the first league I ever started playing fantasy football in. So this league's kind of near and dear to my heart. We call it the Big League, and nothing fancy, no special names, something like that. But I mean, we've had the trophy passed around year in year out. I know I know Greg's our current champion, and he was he was so mad because our champion last year, Mick, he held the so Mick's got a job where he's busy, man. Like he stays really, really busy. But it took a long, long time. Normally, tradition is like at the Super Bowl, if you have a trophy, you mail it off, you hand it off, do whatever. Super Bowl is kind of like your end of the season, just like it is for the NFL. So you get that last, get to walk around with it, hug it, all that stuff like that. So uh, Greg was blowing up the chat every week. Where's my trophy? Where's my trophy? I don't blame him. Though. So this year, the trophy will be retired, and we're going to go with custom rings. So what everybody has decided on is, which I think it looks pretty good. It's a silver. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. There we go. There's a picture of it. I think it looks pretty good, honestly. But to each their own, I guess. See if there's a. And it's gonna have the blue inlay on it. So while we got 4.5 minutes left until the 4.5 minutes left until the draft starts, we'll go ahead and look at the ring, what everybody's going to be vying for this year. Where's it at? There we go. Share that with you. Oh, is it not a? Oh, what the heck? It's not a other type of file. Let's see that. That's all right. We'll manipulate the system a little bit here. There we go. See, that could be over here. Oh, we got 3.5 minutes. Getting closer. Getting so clutch. Let's see. Let's see what did Greg say. I finally got it in April on draft day. Ugh, that's a long time to wait. That's a long time to wait. Oh, Mick, that's because you don't deserve it. Dang, look at that. We got a little rivalry brewing here. Jeez, look out. Draft prep. Well, it's better than that prep that Greg likes to do. His team got lucky. Dang. Look at that. He's saying you didn't deserve it. Your team got lucky. Come on, champ. What you got, champ? You can let him talk all that crap to you like that? You're the champ. You are gonna let him talk all that crap, aren't you? You ain't gonna do nothing. Let's see, and so Greg and Mick are gonna be in the inaugural Kingmaker Sports League as well. So that's gonna be something to look at also. Uh, Keeping that rivalry going. This is gonna be that's gonna be so fun. Um, let's see here we go. Let's take that out. What's that? Uh, Mick said I had top points. I mean, it. I guess points only win championships in NASCAR, right? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty excited about that league as well. Just for because it's Kingmaker Sports. It's something that I've talked about doing for a long time now, and we finally did it. And I don't know, dude. It's just I'm pretty excited about it too. So here's the ring. Here's the ring that this league is vying for. I think it's awesome. We voted on it. It was this one and a gold option, like a black gold option or black. What it was a darker color. Um, but puppy. But yeah, so this is what we're going to be going after this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully I can get me a couple of them. So myself in this league, I am, and the Kingmaker Sports League will have another ring for that too. I'm gonna look at maybe finding a custom engraving or something with the name for the Kingmaker Sports League. If they give me a good price on it, I'll do the same thing on that league as well. But uh, so that's going to be pretty exciting to see. All right, 10 seconds until the first pick. All right, let's do it. Who is going to go number one? Is it going to be Jamar? And what's our strategy going to be here? All right. All right, so looking at over here in this league here, we are taking a kicker and a defense, so it's a little different. One quarterback, three running backs, three wide receivers, two running backs, and a tight end. So let's see here. Where does it show who got taken? All right, so we got Barkley, Gibbs, and then we got Jefferson. Am I going to believe in J.J. McCarthy? Addison is going to be gone for a few games. So that's going to leave Jefferson, at least for a little bit. It's going to look pretty good for Jefferson. And CD's got company in town with George Pickens, and Ferguson just signed another contract. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go Justin Jefferson here. What's that? It says injured, questionable. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson here and go ahead and start with an elite wide receiver. And then we will look at who's going to fall to us at our next pick. Let's see here. We got Philly Mike OG. Terry McLaurin is now a Kansas City Chief. Okay. That wouldn't be bad for McLaurin. We got a three first is crazy. See what we got over here. We've got, this is one of our newer guys here. He obviously hasn't changed his team name yet. So that's something that we'll probably need to address. Go ahead and change your team name. Average Joe's in Quiz's Kingdom. You might want to go ahead and do that. Let's see who's been taken already. So Bijan went first, Jamar. Then I took Justin Jefferson, then Saquon, then Gibbs, and then Amon-Ra, and then Nico. Oh wow. Okay, Nico. That's bold move, Nico. All right. Wow. Okay, CD Lamb. Let's see who we got on the board here. So McCaffrey, who's going to take the risk on McCaffrey here? You already see he's dropped a couple spots already just because he's awesome whenever he's healthy, but that's the big question. It's when he's healthy. Do you take that? It looks like they went in and took Malik Neighbors. They're trusting in Russell Wilson and maybe even Jackson Dart. Mick went and took McCaffrey. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and take the risk on McCaffrey. But that's still not bad though. Grabbing McCaffrey right there at the 10 spot. I mean, if you're within 3 or 4 picks of where they're projected, I mean that's fine. Not everybody goes off projections anyway. So if that's something that you're not crazy about, I wouldn't worry about it here. Normally I'd go ahead and star players that I'm going to look for, but because this is a live draft, I don't want to be sniped. But anybody who's watched the show, anybody who's spent any time and watched Kingmaker Sports, watch me, Mick, and Slayton, you know the guys that we like, the guys we're hyping up. You know, you like all that stuff here. So you know who we're going to go after. So if you haven't watched the show and you're in this league, well, it sucks to suck, and you should watch the show and subscribe to it because now joke's on you. So we got 7 seconds here. See, we got Eddie. Eddie's on the clock. I might want to send him a little text message. I don't know if he knows that the draft is going on right now. He's got another job where he stays pretty busy. All right. What else we got here? So Eddie drafted him, Derrick Henry, and then the Godfather went Puka and then Genty. Okay. All right. I don't know if that was auto draft or if he actually took them, but Nakua right there, that's awesome. That's really good taking Nakua right there. Who did Slayton get? Oh, Slayton's not in this one. This is a different league. My bad. So we got BTJ, Drake London, Devon Achane, Jacobs, Taylor, Irving, Brown, Chase is going to be what we have as far as what Yahoo was saying is our next top picks. And then after that, so this is not a tight end premium. This is a standard 1 QB with a kicker and a defense, 5 bench spots, and an IR. But IR is for injury only, not suspensions, not anything like that, just injury only. So looking at, yeah, Eddie's definitely auto drafting right now because he's taking the full clock. Let's see here. So he auto drafted Brian Thomas Jr. So he auto drafted Derrick Henry and Brian Thomas Jr. So not bad. And then you got Mick took Achan, and then Greg turned around and took London. All right, so that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting indeed. So it looks like we got a run of running backs right here. Are we going to take running backs? Let's see. I mean, there's some pretty good. Chase Brown came out of nowhere, so that was pretty good. But I liked him in college though too. Um, I thought him and Sean Tucker were pretty good. Sean Tucker, of course, getting stuck behind Bucky Irving, so that's not really great for his career. Um, so that I feel bad for that guy, but that's just the way the NFL rolls sometimes. Like they'll draft, and it's something we talked about on the one of the Kingmaker Sports episodes as well, is how we didn't like how Tank Bigsby got drafted behind ETN, and then Charbonnet got drafted behind Kenneth Walker when they already had established good running backs there. So we weren't really crazy about that. Oh, okay. Chase Brown. All right. So we went Drake London and then Chase Brown. Uh, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good little steal right there too. Let's see what we got next here. So Average Joe's. That's going to be. I think that's one of our new guys. So Average Joe's and Quiz's Kingdom. Average Joe's. Anybody who's a fan of dodgeball. Um, I thought I heard somewhere that they're coming out with another dodgeball, like a sequel. So I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, let me know. Let me know what you think about that. I think that's going to be good. I mean, because we saw how the sequel was to Happy Gilmore. I mean that was pretty good. I thought that turned out to be pretty well. Some would argue that it was better, if not, than the first one. Boom. Oh, Brock Bowers. Okay. We got our first tight end off the board. Doesn't surprise me it's Brock Bowers though. Um, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here. So, and then Josh Jacobs, okay, a former Raider, who I was surprised that Josh Jacobs found his footing in Green Bay. So good for him, man. I think Green Bay's got a decent squad they're putting together over there. So I ain't mad at him at all. Let's see here. Lad McConkey. Wow. That's a really good pick there, though, by Sky taking Lad McConkey, PPR machine, especially after what just happened to Quentin Johnston getting hit. Which, hey, look, in my opinion, I think it was bullcrap that he got hit so hard and late like that. He was a defenseless player and not a flag in sight. If you go back and watch the replay, there's a good like half second to a second to where that defensive back could have pulled up and not hit him. I mean, and he just laid into him after pretty much the pass was incomplete and just laid into him, and they didn't call a flag on that at all. So that's a shame. Like that's you can't do that. The league needs to do something about the officials to not for that bad call like that. I don't like that at all. Shame on didn't make that call. Let's see what we got here. So they took Bucky Irving. Okay. All right. So I got Justin Jefferson already. I got a pretty solid wide receiver that I'm happy with. It looks like I can either take Jonathan Taylor, which is one of the last like solid running backs here, or I can go a tight end, and then we've got Lamar Jackson here, where we're going to start having our quarterbacks. So I'm gonna probably hold off on quarterback on this round, and I think I think I'm gonna go Jonathan Taylor here and give myself a good running back. 'Cause I don't. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Jonathan Taylor here, just because by myself with a top tier running back and a top tier receiver. So now looking at your settings, so we have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and that flex. Now that flex can be 2 tight ends. I won a league the year that Kelsey and Kittle went off by starting both of those guys in that same year. So I mean, that's also not a crazy strategy either if you can do it. So let's see. We got Dustin here. Swole come up with Kyron Williams. All right. So that's not a bad pick either, especially with Stafford having a hurt shoulder. And then we got 4th and goal comes up with Trey McBride. So we got our second tight end off the board. So it looks like a pretty big fan of Trey McBride there, for good reason though. I mean, Kyler Murray's not the Kyler Murray that I don't know people really think. I don't know. I don't think Kyler Murray's that great. That's just me. I don't think he's a quality passer. I think he's just a really good scrambling quarterback. Um, I don't think that he's going to be good for Marvin Harrison Jr.'s career. That's just me personally. You think what you want. That's fine. Hey, I'll take it. No big deal. Um, all right. So who's up right here? So we got 4th and goal. All right. And they just took Josh Allen. Okay. Boom. Boom. Took the MVP. Josh Allen. And of course, Dustin, the Redskins fan, the Washington fan, taking JD5. Big man, JD5. I like it. I like it a lot. So, dilemma time. Are we taking Lamar Jackson? Are we taking a wide receiver? I'm not crazy about the receivers that I got right here. I may figure something out there. I think I kind of want to go Lamar Jackson here and solidify that quarterback position, that kind of set it and forget it situation. Normally, I'm not a big fan of going quarterback early, but Lamar staring me the face here at my 3rd pick. Hmm. You know what? Think long, think wrong. Let's go ahead and go Lamar just because he offers so much. Let's do it, man. Let's be crazy. Let's see what else we got. All right, so this is how our team's looking like right now. We got Lamar Jackson as our quarterback. We got Justin Jefferson, and then we've got Jonathan Taylor. So Jonathan Taylor, if the Colts offense can figure out what they're doing at the quarterback position and how they're going to run their offense, I think that Jonathan Taylor's going to be okay. Um, but with I don't know, man. With what do we got here? So we're in that. It looks like we're in that kind of second tier of uh let's see what we got. Mick says that's a good start for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's decent. I think it's decent. What we got here? So Brandon says, "What's the rumor about Colts being one of the teams that could trade for Trey Hendrickson?" Man, actually, so I was speculating on that today with somebody that's big with the Colts organization, and it looks like they're trying to make a play for Hendrickson. It may cost us it may cost us a first and maybe a defensive player or another player, but I don't think we're gonna miss that. And even some of the scenarios that I'm working out in my head for comparable players, um, dude, it could be done, especially with Lou Anarumo, his Trey Henderson's former defensive coordinator in Cincinnati. I think Lou's right now like campaigning hard for Trey Hendrickson. So this may be something to monitor Trey Henderson to the Colts, though. I'm with you, dude. Like I think the rumor is pretty solid because of people around the that are involved in that. The Colts are really pursuing hard on Trey Hendrickson. It just depends on what the price is and how much it's going to cost him. Him coming off a season where he's a sack leader, it's not going to be cheap. But hey, man, that's the league. You pay what you got to pay. That's awesome. Thank you for that question. That's a good question. We definitely enjoy that. I know when we have Mick and Slayton on, we like to answer a lot of y'all's questions with your leagues, with your uh, your drafts coming up. We definitely love the interaction. It's so fun to see what other people are thinking, what other people are doing in their leagues. Um, let's see here. So what's been going on here? So after we took Lamar, it looks like that AJ Brown went off the board and T Higgins went off the board. So we got a little run of wide receivers right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe JSN comes off. And there he goes right there. So JSN comes off. Which DK Metcalf out of the picture? JSN's the new guy in town, or the young buck in town. He's one of those Ohio State greats, along with Garrett Wilson, and then we had Marvin Harrison Jr. So there was like a whole set of them coming out. So and then this year, you got Egbuka, who's looking phenomenal in Tampa Bay right now, just lights out. Um, so I think that's going to be Ohio State's really, really putting out some receivers. I'm curious to see how that's going to work going forward. They've still got some studs there. Ohio State and Texas, they play August 30th around noon, depending on what your time zone is. They're that early game. So Ohio State versus Texas to start off the college football season. By God, what a banger to start off the season. That's going to be so much fun to watch. Let me know if y'all are going to be watching that as well, and who you got. You think Texas is going to win, or you think Ohio State's going to win? It's going to be pretty close. Both teams lost some really good talent to the NFL, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see here. So after JSN got taken, it looks like Mike Evans got taken. Okay, Mike Evans coming off of, gosh, I've been lost count of how many consecutive 1,000 yards he has. Mike Evans has just been amazing. Kind of quarterback proof in his own right. And then Jalen Hurts, our next quarterback, got taken. And then George Kittle, nice. So George Kittle's a nice pick, I think, because they have so many issues right now in San Francisco. Like, you don't know what's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk with his injury, and then him just being a diva. You don't know if McCaffrey's ever going to get hurt. He always gets hurt. It's just a matter of when, right? So Brock Purdy's going to be limited on options. He's got Ricky Pearsall, who's not bad. Ricky Pearsall's not bad. Not saying that, but the George Kittle is tried and true. He is Mr. Dependable, and the guy can just make a play with the ball in his hand after he's done. So I don't think you can go wrong with George Kittle right there. It's good. And then we got Garrett Wilson. Mick went in and took Garrett Wilson, who is just one of those Ohio State guys that we talked about a second ago. And I think Garrett Wilson's going to be okay with. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be okay with Justin Fields. Anything's better than whatever that was we saw from Aaron Rodgers. Don't know what that was. Don't really care. Glad it's over with, because it just sucked for guys like Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Like, you had production there. You had talent that could really, really take off, and it didn't go the way you wanted. And then we got Eddie come around with Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is going to be in a nice little offense now. But they just drafted a guy that I really like, Devin Neal. I thought Devin Neal was really good in college. Wow. Okay. So the Skins went ahead and got Marvin Harrison Jr., another one of those Ohio State wide receivers that we talked about that was just so dang good. And then Joe Burrow. I love me some Joe Burrow. That's an awesome pick right there. I really like that. All right, so what do we got here on the board? All right, so James Cook got paid. Tyreek Hill has always been pretty good. Chuba Hubbard was a really good running back that I liked out of Oklahoma State. He ran hard, real good, just a solid running back there. And then he hasn't really lived up in the NFL until just recently last year when their guy out of Texas, uh, poor guy, man, Jonathan Brooks, comes in the league already kind of hurt, gets some play, gets hurt again, and then Chuba Hubbard just comes in and just cleans up and just makes a case. And here he is, man, like looking fresh, like he's number 39, ranked 39 in Yahoo's redraft setting. So let's see what we got. So after Joe Burrow went DK, Big Swole, DK Metcalf, and then Mick went ahead and took James Cook. James Cook's pretty versatile, so that's a good one there. And then let's see, Doc White went ahead and took Kenneth Walker. So Kenneth Walker should get a lot of play. Now that DK's gone, they've got a pretty decent tight end there. I don't think he's going to take a lot away from Kenneth Walker, but I'm curious to see how that Zach Charbonnet situation is going to play out with Kenneth Walker. I've said before I didn't like at all the Kenneth Walker Zach Charbonnet stack. I think that's definitely Kenneth Walker's backfield. All right, so let's not get it twisted here. That is definitely Kenneth Walker's backfield. So they've got their next best player available as Amarian Hampton here. Hampton could see some really, really solid production in that offense behind Najee. But Najee being the vet, man, I don't think you can count him out. And okay, looks like Chuba Hubbard got taken. Okay, so Chuba over Amarion and James Conner. Whoa. Okay, go get your guy. I mean, I'm all about it. If you like you some James Conner, go get you some James Conner, man. I am all about it. Good job. I hope that works out. But if you're going to go and get James Conner, I'd probably think about going to get Trey Benson too. That's Trey Benson's going to be a solid. He's one of my favorite running back handcuffs, especially somebody who doesn't have a lot of tape. If you're in Dynasty, I think you can go get Benson maybe a little cheaper right now before James Conner gets hurt, or if he loses a step, or they try and phase Conner out and Benson in, because they still need to see what Benson has. Now I know this is Dynasty talk and this is a redraft, live redraft right here, but that's what we have to look forward to. Trey Benson is still really good, but he's just behind a solid starter. Mick goes, I don't like this area of the draft. I don't either. This is kind of like that no man's land, that dead zone, if you will. It's just you guys you're not really happy about here, you know. So, let's see here. All right, so who got taken? We got a pick coming up soon. Looks like they went and took Amarion Hampton. Not bad, not bad. I definitely like Amarion maybe over James Conner for sure. Not so much over Chuba. I think Chuba is just going to get a lot more work. But the Chargers just have a really good offense. So you've got a run of wide receivers here. If you want to take a risk on it. So it looks like Terry McLaurin, Brees Hall. So that's not bad. Getting Brees Hall that cheap, that's a steal, man. Freaking Texans Navy over there got a steal with Brees Hall. Let's see who we got here. I don't really like the Devontae Adams thing. Not crazy about that. Waddle looks good. George Pickens, Tyreek Hill. Oh man. So this is gonna be a weird one for me here because I'm not crazy about any of these. I'm gonna surprise some of you right now. You can come at me if you want. You know what? Yeah. Let's go. Man, let's go Xavier Worthy, and let's just go ahead and trust in that offense. Uh, Or I can go Zay Flowers stack. No, we're gonna go Zay. We're gonna go Xavier Worthy. No, we'll go Tyreek Hill. We'll go Tyreek Hill just because of the playmaking ability in that offense. But to have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle so close, that I mean, you really could go either way on that. It's just up to you what you think is going to do well. Um, let's see here. What do we got? Okay. All right. So let's look further down here. So isn't that crazy? Patrick Mahomes is all the way down here at 69. Down here with Travis Hunter, man, like and Aaron Jones. That's just how far has Patrick Mahomes fallen from fantasy grace, man. I mean, this dude was a first round, second round pick in redrafts, not but a couple years ago, and now here we are in 2025, and Patrick Mahomes is an afterthought just about. This is crazy. Um, But hey, that's the way it goes, man. They fall off. But he for regular football, for real NFL, like yeah, he's money. You ain't got to worry about nothing. But all right, so looks like Swole here is going to take the risk on Devontae Adams with Matt Stafford out in LA, pairing with Puka Nakua. So that's not going to be too bad. I'm curious if Terrence Ferguson is going to come on this year, or if and for you redraft people that don't really play dynasty, don't really focus on the rookies. Terrence Ferguson is a rookie that they drafted that's like it's pretty good. I like him. I think he's a really good tight end. But I think he's more of a future type of tight end. I don't think he's going to be this year. So taking Devonta Adams there is not a bad idea. It's a pretty solid pick there. Let's see what's our BPA here. Our best player available. So Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers for as far as receivers, and then Yahoo is saying Tony Pollard, R.J. Harvey, uh, Jamison Williams, Travion Henderson, DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley. So Calvin Ridley has actually had a pretty good rapport with Cam Ward. So Calvin Ridley could be worth taking a shot at here if Calvin Ridley's still available. So Devonta Smith, okay. All right, so we got Devonta Smith off the board. So that's going to be both the Eagles receivers and Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. So pretty much all the dominant Eagles offensive players are gone now. So we shouldn't see any more Eagles players. Dallas Goedert's not worth a he's not worth a draft pick, I don't think. But man, honestly, that's really up to whoever wants to take him. Do your thing, whatever. I ain't gonna be mad at you. But let's see here. So who's on the board right now? All right, so fourth and goal. So that's Brett. Let's see who's Brett gonna take here. So there's a whole bunch of wide receivers right here. Got a little run going on now in this league. Keep in mind there's 3 wide receivers, so that's something to pay attention to if you're depending on your how your league is or how your team is kind of built right now. He went up taking DJ Moore. Okay, DJ Moore got paid pretty good, so go ahead and get him. The money talks. The money talks about longevity. Um, but all right, so looking here, we got Waddle. I'm not gonna take Waddle because I already took Tyreek Hill. Um, George Pickens. I mean, yeah, I like George Pickens, but I'm not bought into that Cowboys offense so much. Um, I'm gonna do something crazy here, man. I'm gonna go Travion Henderson. I got 2 wide receivers here that I really like: Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. I think those 2 guys can be just massive game breakers. But from what I've seen of Travion Henderson, so Travion Henderson has been my favorite running back since his freshman year at Ohio State. And I'm not going to waver from that. I'm not going to change my feelings on that. It's Hendo no matter what. The shout out to you, Mick. You know what I'm talking about. Um, so Mick says ultimate upside. So this is yeah. I mean, for sure. I'm assuming you're talking about Travion Henderson, brother. I think you're right. This is the ultimate upside pick for Travion Henderson, and so we'll see how that works out. But everything so far looks like it's working out pretty good for Travion Henderson. So Nick Kirby Real Estate, thank you, man. Hopefully you were in the building I uh, when I was praising you. Hopefully we sent some business your way, Bubba. If you are in the greater LA area and you need the hands down the best real estate agent looking to buy your next beautiful home, man, go see Nick Kirby Real Estate. You will not find a better person to fight for you, get what you want, get you the best deal, man. Go see Nick Kirby out there in Los Angeles area, and he's gonna hook you up with a nice, beautiful home. Mick says new Travion wouldn't last to me. That's why I went Cook. Game theory, hoping a wide receiver falls right now. Yeah, I mean, there's some of my favorites right here. I mean, if I didn't have Tyreek Hill, I'm going Jalen Waddle, like no questions asked. I do like George Pickens. Like these are the only thing that scares me out about Xavier Worthy, and is because the Chiefs. If you have too many options, you don't have any options, and this is fantasy football. So for real football, it makes perfect sense. But Xavier Worthy showed out in the playoffs. He made a case that he can do it. But I think just something in my gut's telling me the Chiefs are going to get back to their bread and butter of Mahomes and Kelsey. And I feel like he's gonna look to Kelsey a lot more. Just something in my gut tells me that, man. I don't know if I'm crazy for that. If you like it, if you don't like it, um, you know, it is what it is. Oh, brother, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Man, so me and Nick Kirby have been in a dynasty league. Gosh, it feels like forever, man. I feel like I've known you forever. But we've had such a great time, made some really good trades. I know he's looking forward to a solid season out of his Raiders. And from everything it looks like from Ashton Genty, man, outside of that offensive line, I think the Raiders are going to be pretty decent. You got Brock Bowers. I'm still a fan of Michael Mayer. I think Michael Mayer can be somebody. I just don't think it's going to be on the Raiders because of how dominant Brock Bowers is. But if they can use a double tight end set and run the ball with Ashton Genty, I think that's the route to go. I think you line up Bowers, Mayer, who both have proven that they can block. So if it's an ISO single back, I don't doubt at all that Ashton Genty can be successful with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer blocking for him. And then you always have both of them as a threat to chip block and then break off for a pass. I'm pretty excited about your Deontay Thornton Jr. out there. I know he was overthrown a little bit. Harry Douglas had some things to say about him on Twitter. And Harry Douglas, former wide receiver for the Falcons, who I liked. I thought he was decent, but he was just like a perennial like wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, like nothing fancy. On that offense, he was the wide receiver 3. He was playing behind Julio Jones and then Roddy White there for a while when Roddy White was still there, and Harry Douglas was that third guy. But no, it's the Raiders should have a pretty decent season. But I think they need to figure out that offensive line situation. And boy, Max Crosby. How dominant is Max Crosby, guys? Oh my goodness. All right, so we are still here. It looks like Mr. Auto Draft himself, Mr. Sausages, waiting on him. Mick went ahead and took George Pickens. George Pickens, a guy that I loved coming out of Georgia. I thought he was phenomenal, but he came out hurt. And that's the thing. That's how I drafted him super low in Dynasty. And I got a massive discount on George Pickens, and he did not prove me wrong. He is everything that I thought he was, and now he's with Dallas, which that whole situation in Pittsburgh kind of just it fell apart really, really fast. I mean, they had DK, they had George Pickens, they were supposed to have Aaron Rodgers, which they do now, but at the time it was kind of questionable. And Pat Fryermuth, and it was a roller coaster right there. And then they trade George Pickens to Dallas. So now Dallas looks awesome because now you have CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. And then you're going to package them with George Pickens for Dak Prescott, which is going to help them tremendously. And then now Pittsburgh's stuck with only DK Metcalf there because at the time they did not sign Aaron Rodgers yet. They just had DK Metcalf and Pat Fryermuth. So that was crazy. But yeah, good for George Pickens, man. I hope he goes there and just balls out. All right, so since then we've had the Skins took Sam Laporta with that powerful Lions offense, so really good there. Isaiah Pacheco, the hardest runner in the league. I'm not crazy about Pacheco, but he is a hard runner, man. You got to give him that. You're not just gonna like bump that guy and he go down. You're gonna have to unalive that fella. Jared Goff. high-powered offense. Chris Olave from Mick, man. Like, dude, these Ohio State wide receivers. I don't think there's ever been a run of of receivers that have just come out and just been great, 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 great than we have seen with Ohio State, man. Ohio State has just been kind of that dynasty in in the 2020s so far for wide receiver. No, I don't think any school in such a short amount of time has had so many great wide receivers. And if you disagree with me, hey, that's fine. But dude, how can you argue with it? Think about it. Like Chris Olave, okay, who dominant in college, came out and can still be really good. Garrett Wilson, dominant in college and is still really good. He just has had horrible wide receivers. I mean, horrible quarterback play. Um, and then you've got another one. You've got Igbuka, JSN. Dude, come on. Like, what are we doing here? These guys are phenomenal. All right, so then we have RJ Harvey has come off. RJ Harvey should see a lot of work in that offense. It looks like Sean Payton really likes him. And then we got Mark Andrews. All right, Mark Andrews isn't bad because uh, Isaiah Likely got hurt, so he's done. Everybody was on the Likely hype train, saying, "Okay, it's Likely's team now. He's going to be the tight end one." Nah, bro, it's Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely is the right player on the wrong team as long as Mark Andrews is there. If Mark Andrews leaves, yeah, man, Isaiah Likely to the moon. But all right, ooh, boom. Now we got DeAndre Swift. Okay, so now we're in that different tier of running back here. So DeAndre Swift is a good pick here. But the thing is so I don't think this person has really been following the Bears offense because they've got some battling going on there, man. Like so they drafted a rookie this year named Kyle Munungai. I think that's how you say it. Who's looked phenomenal, and then Roshan Johnson, who's been pretty steady there. So that's gonna be a tricky one to see how that plays out with DeAndre Swift in Chicago. They may have to lean more on the running game because Caleb Williams is not looking great for me. From everything I've seen, just not a fan of Caleb Williams at all. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's going to be great. He's the second coming of Patrick Mahomes." Like, oh, beep, beep, timeout. No, just no. Let's not do that. Evan Ingram in the 6th round. What an idiot! What the heck are you doing? I'll take that free money, baby, all day long. So what I'm going to do here, so I've got my two studs at running back. I've got Jonathan Taylor, Trayvon Henderson. I got Lamar at quarterback, and then I've got Jettas, and then I got Cheetah. So I'm going to look for another wide receiver. I'm going to go wide receiver right here. So they got Rashee Rice right here. Uh, no. Not going to take Rashee Rice. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the flyer here and go Xavier Worthy with the chance that he's going to be just that boom upside, just flying down. This is great value here. This is amazing value. He's fallen so hard. I can't pass him up here. Um, this is really good for a player of his caliber with that speed and what he did in the looks like Mick's got this like idiot. Oh, let's pull that back up on the screen here. Who did he take? Evan Ingram in the 6th round. What an idiot! I have to agree. I concur, McLipper. And then we got Tony Pollard here. That's a pretty good one, man. Tony Pollard's got some pretty good upside. He had a pretty solid season last year, and with that situation in Tennessee, I think Tony Pollard is a great pick right here in the 6th round. You can get somebody who can be if they feed him well. I mean, RB2 on your team, like I mean, just really good points here. I think this is a good pick by 4th and goal here to go ahead and get Tony Pollard. Um, let's see what other steals we got right now. We got Travis Hunter. Man, so they got Travis Hunter projected there. Jalen Warren, Rashee Rice. Let's see here. Brian Robinson Jr. talking about trading him. So we'll be talking about him a little bit on our next show about that trade rumor to kind of see what what could happen with him, where he could land, what are some good spots for him, all that. All right, so 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams at all, but I do like Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze was my favorite wide receiver coming out that year. Yes, above Marvin Harrison Jr. Whatever, you can come at me crazy. I like Rome Odunze. I'm just not crazy about Caleb Williams. But I've got 3 guys ahead of him that I like. So I think that if Rome Odunze or if Caleb Williams can even figure it out and at least get him the ball, I think he can do all the hard labor. Travis Hunter, I like Travis Hunter. I'm just not sold on him so much. So I'm gonna go Rome Odunze here. This is pretty average position right here for him. So I'm gonna go Rome Odunze, and he's gonna be my next. He's gonna be my flex there. He's probably not somebody I'm gonna start maybe every week. I'm going to need to see more from Caleb Williams before I can confidently start him. I know at least like Xavier Worthy, he's playing with one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen in Patrick Mahomes, who's going to go easily as a Hall of Famer. I mean, so I know that Worthy at least has the quarterback to back it up. Rome Odunze, we'll see how that goes. This is year long. So in Dynasty, obviously Rome Odunze, right? But this is redraft. This is yearly. It's all going to come down to Caleb Williams. And if it doesn't work out, okay, fine. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I took him in the 7th round. I can live with that. I can live with missing on a guy in the 7th round. So not going to hurt me too much. Let's see here. All right, so looking at some of my favorites coming up here. So Rice is not going to be suspended. But the thing is Rice could still get suspended by the league, and that's what we need to look at. So we've seen a lot of times where Roger Goodell will just do his own thing. He don't care. He's going to suspend you even if you didn't get brought up on charges, you weren't guilty of anything like that, any of that stuff. Rashee Rice actually has to go to jail for 30 days. So that's the thing here. So some of my favorites here. If you're looking to, so Addison, he's going to be someone that you're at the kind of stash for 3 games because he's suspended for the first 3 games. Jacoby Myers could be a good one. Jerry Jeudy I like Jerry Jeudy, but the thing is with the Browns, they're the Browns. That's the thing with the Browns. But no, just playing. So the thing is with the Browns, they just signed a guy that I took in every dynasty league, either whether they be free on waivers or I took them with my very last pick, was Isaiah Bond. And they're signing Isaiah Bond to a contract, who Isaiah Bond should have gone in the first round in the NFL draft. But he had some legal issues, some accusations, things like that. It just came out yesterday or day before that he will not be brought up on charges, anything like that. So Isaiah Bond is free and clear to sign with the team. He decided to sign with the Cleveland Browns, which clearly the Browns don't care about stuff like that because they have Deshaun Watson and Quinshon Judkins. So they clearly don't care. But that's on them. That's on the Brownies and that dog pound. So Jerry Jeudy here. Okay. All right. So they took Jerry Jeudy, Rashee Rice got taken, Aaron Jones, Baker Mayfield, who is like resurgence, man. Baker Mayfield is playing so good in Tampa. it's looking really good for those receivers there. Which they're one less now because it looks like McMillan got hurt there. And but I don't think they were so much sold on McMillan since they went ahead and took Egbuka. But you don't pass on Emeka Egbuka. I mean, that dude's gold, man. He's going to be so great. So if you got him in Dynasty, you hold on to that dude for dear life. Um, so let's see here. So Travis Hunter's fallen a little bit. He's fallen a little bit. Jalen Warren. I'm not, man, call me crazy, but I'm not sold on Jalen Warren. I know some people, he has his following. I get that, but I'm not, dude. I think they're going to give Caleb Warren or Caleb Warren. I think they're going to give Caleb Johnson the opportunity to show what he can do. All right, so it looks like Jacoby Myers came off, and then Doc White took Pearsall. So Pearsall's shown to be a good PPR machine there. It's going to be pretty much him and Kittle catching passes because Ayuk was doing some weird stuff like with his contract, and then he's dealing with an injury. So Pearsall's not a bad pick here. Reach a little bit for him. That's fine. Whatever. Go get your guy. I mean, I say all the time here on this show that dude, go get your guy. Don't be afraid of what people are going to say. Go get your guy because if you believe in him, you believe in him. Because what's worse, like you not going and get somebody that you believe in, or you seeing somebody else and them go get them, or you having somebody that you believe in on your team. Like you don't want your favorite player on someone else's team, and then they go off, and then now you feel like a jackass. Let's see here. Thank you. All right, so here we go. We got Mr. Sausages, Mr. Auto Draft himself on here, which he said earlier in the chat. He goes, "I'm watching this and drafting on the same device." Hey, well, it's appreciated, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you got YouTube on the smart TV, man, go ahead and throw the show up on the smart TV. Download the YouTube app on there. Put at Kingmaker underscore DFF in YouTube, and boom, it'll pop up Kingmaker Sports, and that's us. You can watch your draft and you can draft live. You can do all of the above, man. We got you covered. Um, but if y'all haven't, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And we're gonna be doing lots of shows this year, this season going forward. Sunday mornings at around like 11, we'll be doing some start sit. We'll be going live on here on YouTube doing start sits and just helping everybody out with their big questions of the morning. There you go. There's your graphic. There's your graphic. Let's see. So we've got Mika Egbuka. Okay, so yeah, just like we talked about. Go ahead and take Egbuka. See Jalen Warren, and well, I mean that's the downfall of auto draft right there. You kind of get somebody that you're not crazy about, and it doesn't surprise me. Duskins went ahead and got Brian Robertson Jr., who probably won't be a skin for much longer, but that's all right. That's all right. I still believe in the talent. I think he was very, very underrated coming out of college. And I mean, he's one of those Alabama running backs. And there's been very few Alabama running backs we've seen in the Nick Saban era and even, a little bit after that weren't good. I think with Kenyon Drake was one of them I wasn't crazy about. TJ Yeldon wasn't crazy about. It's just those guys just happened to play at Alabama and they were in that Nick Saban offense. But I tell you what, man, Nick Saban knows how to recruit some running backs, though. You just look at all those Heisman winning running backs and tell me that Nick Saban don't know running backs. So Jordan Mason, who could be a great handcuff. Oh man, I know, man. Greg's got to be so pissed right there that he missed out on Dak Prescott. But hey, that's the way it goes, man. Uh, I remember last year Greg was sniping me on a bunch of picks. But my dumb butt, I'm over here telling the players I like around this round, players I'm looking at this guy, sleepers here. And sure enough, he's sniping. So that trophy you got, that's that's mine. That's mine. Those are all my players that you sniped me on. They just happen to be on your team. See, Mick's going to stack Pickens with that. There you go. There you go. That's not a bad strategy. Not at all. All right. We are up. Who do we got right here? All right. So looking at it, we got 4 wide receivers, we got 2 running backs, and we got a quarterback. Let's look at our best available. So Travis Hunter's still there. I don't think I'm going to take a flyer on him. I'm not going to look at that. Um, All right. So, man, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. So season long, what's going on here with this Stephon Diggs? I've never been a big Diggs fan. Um, let's see here. So let's look tight ends. Let's go Jake Ferguson at tight end. Nah. Yeah, let's go Jake Ferguson at tight end. Let's go ahead and just get us one of those, and then we'll see how it plays out after that. All right, so Michael Pittman Jr. All right. So the reason I wasn't going to go Pittman Jr. is because I already have Jonathan Taylor, and I don't want to kind of counteract myself and get the same running back and the same wide receiver on the same team. The only time that that's really kind of been a thing was either if you had like Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, or if you had who was it? It was Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. That's one of the few rare times where that actually works out. So I didn't want to set myself up for that. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to try and look at different combinations here. Let's see. Let's look a little further down here. So let's see here. Hmm. What do we got here? Who was just taking? Travis Etienne. Okay, okay. Dang, you reached for him. All right. Uh, I don't know, man. Tank Bixby got a lot of run. Tucker Kraft is still a good tight end out there. Kyler Murray. Let's see, Cooper Cup. All right, all right. It's not bad, not bad. All right, who just got taken? Oh, wow. Really, dude? Really? You could have got that dude in like the 15th round. You went to Corey Krosky Merritt. He's good, but come on, bro. Come on, bro. You know better than that. Uh, let's see here. Man, I don't think I can let Hunter fall much further, but I need to go. I think I'm gonna go with Tank Bigsby here, and just for the upside of it, there's not a lot of running backs after this that I really like that I don't think have as much upside as Tank Bigsby does. Actually, there's not any other running backs back here that I think have as much upside as he does. So I'm going to go Tank Bigsby here, and if he works out well, then I could put him in my flex and maybe even trade him for a wide receiver. But there's still some decent options here. See, we see a lot of red here, a lot of questionables, things like that. It's just these all go away. This is all precautionary stuff the league has to do. It's not a big deal. So let's take a look here. So what do they say our best available quarterbacks are here? So Fields, Murray, May, Williams, Herbert, Love, McCarthy, Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young. So it's kind of crazy to me that CJ Stroud is still here. I'm surprised that he's still there. That's crazy. Wide receivers. All right. So obviously we talked about Travis Hunter still being there. He's kind of falling. I guess not a lot of people are liking Travis Hunter. Let's see here. Not really, not a lot of receivers left here, man. It's just not. The waters are shaky, real shaky. It's a good thing this is seasonal, not dynasty, because that'd be rough right there, man. Let's see, running backs. This is at this is kind of a bad area for running backs. It's who's going to be. These are all upside plays, man. At this point, if you don't already have like your quality running backs, it's just all upside. That's all it is. Let's see here. So Johnny Smith's an interesting one. He got traded from Miami to Pittsburgh, so I think they're going to use him a lot. Let's see here. Britton Strange has been doing well for Jacksonville. Mason Taylor is somebody in Dynasty that I've been really big on. I think he's going to do very well for that team. See who we got. Matthew Golden got taken. Chris Godwin, Tucker Kraft, Josh Downs. Okay, Josh Downs is a good pick there. Between he's gonna do well. He's gonna get a lot of receptions there. But yes, that's what our tight ends are looking like. Let's go to kickers and defense. Ninth round, it's still too early for kickers and defense. You don't have that money in the bank like you did with Justin Tucker anymore, because he's a weirdo, and so that's something that you can't just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a 10th round pick on Justin Tucker because I know he's money. We don't do that anymore. All right, let's go back to the main board here. Look at our results. Okay, I guess somebody did take C.J. Stroud there, and they went in and took the gamble on Travis Hunter. Somebody finally took Travis Hunter. If you can get him to stop dancing, it'd be pretty good. You got Justin Fields, who's got some weapons in New York, and then Stephon Diggs, the old man in New England, they brought in uh, to bring a veteran presence into that young wide receiver room. Let's see here. So looking at Dobbins wouldn't be bad, um, because he's that veteran for Sean Payton, but hmm, Justin Herbert, a team that doesn't have a quarterback, Justin Herbert is probably my favorite quarterback on the board right here. Because like I've already gone and said I don't like Caleb Williams. Drake, I like Drake May actually. I like Drake May a lot. Hmm. Let's see here. So I took Ramondre Stevenson. Okay. Alrighty. Oh. All right. I need something to drink, man. My throat was getting dry. All right. So this is where we're at. Oh, let's see here. All right. So Ramondre Stevenson, then Keenan Allen, the veteran, Zach Charbonnet, Dalton Kincaid, Cam Scatabo, Darnell Mooney, and Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir is an interesting one, I think, because he gets a lot of receptions in that Bills offense. You want to look at Keon Coleman, right? He's like your typical like alpha that you think of, but Khalil Shakir actually gets a lot of the targets. He did really well for teams last year if you got a good deal on him. And then J.K. Dobbins went, and then Rashid Shaheed, who has showed to be a deep threat in New Orleans. He's he's interesting in that Kellen Moore offense. I'm really excited to see how that's going to work. I'm a fan of Kellen Moore's offense. So if they can figure out what they're doing at the quarterback position, because their quarterbacks are pretty trash bag right now. Spencer Rattler. I mean, you got Rattler, Shuck, and then Hayner. That's not great. I mean, you can be mad at me all you want if you want. I don't like their quarterbacks in New Orleans at all. Not even almost. I mean, Shuck didn't. Shuck's probably the one I like the most out of the three of them, but that's not really saying much here. Let's see, we got 17 seconds left on this one. If you want to go ahead and make your pick, just any day now. Come on. Oh wow. You let the clock do it. What a loser. All right. So let's look at what's available here. So we're not going to take these. Let's just go ahead and eliminate quarterback. Let's just go flex. I'm not taking a quarterback. Not with 5 bench spots. I'm not. Heck no. We're going to go upside here. Let's look at our upside and let's go. Ooh, what do we got here? Let's look at our wide receivers. I mean, Keon Coleman is interesting. Boom. I'm going right here. I'm going Jaden Higgins. We're going to go Jaden Higgins. I like him a lot right now. He's looking really good for the Texans. Yeah, let's go Jaden Higgins right here. That's going to piss off a lot of Texans fans that are in this league that I'm taking. But Higgins, no matter what. Isn't that right, Mick? Cheers, buddy. Higgins, no matter what. Higgins is somebody that Mick was really high on. That I went ahead and looked and watched the film, and after doing my film study on him, I came away a huge Jaden Higgins fan. Just seeing what he could do with his ball in the hands, dude. Go watch you some Jaden Higgins film, and you'll be a believer just like me. So Mick, thank you, brother, for enlightening me to Jaden Higgins because I've got him on a few of my dynasty rosters, and I'm very happy about that. Let's see here. So, if let me know what y'all think so far of how this draft is playing out. I mean, let's do a quick. Let's see what's our next pick. It says 2 picks. Isn't it supposed to tell me when it's my turn or? Oh, that's only on that all players saying. Gotcha. Okay, but since we're not doing quarterbacks, we'll do that. All right. So let's look here. Not bad. Jaden Reed's not a bad one. I mean, a lot of people still want to be on the Christian Watson fan club, but I'm not. I'm not on the Christian Watson fan club at all. I mean, say what you want to say, but I'm just not. Gosh, dog it. Think it took long enough? Hurry up. All right, let's see here. So, honestly, don't really see a lot of people that I am crazy about. So, if I'm, I mean, I guess I'll just go, I can probably go upside here. Another upside pick. I'm going to go Tyler Warren. From everything that I've seen from Tyler Warren, it looks like he's heavily involved early and often in that offense. If Ferguson doesn't work out, then I can change direction and go Tyler Warren and be very very happy with that. Um, I know I got Jonathan Taylor, but I don't think that those two are going to hurt each other because Tyler Warren is an underneath guy who's so versatile. So I don't think that that's going to affect Jonathan Taylor or Tyler Warren at all. Both of which are not quarterback dependent. Tyler Warren is proving that he can produce. They've even had him lining up in the backfield. So he's going to be on the field pretty much at all times. So I'm not worried about Tyler Warren at all. That could be really fun if Ferguson and Warren both work out. Dude, come on. You pretty much got a tight end playing wide receiver over here. So let's see what Yahoo is saying is the best available right now. They're still saying Drake May. So there's a handful of quarterbacks here. So Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams. Let's see what the teams are looking like here. So fourth and goal, they have Josh Allen. All right. Swole's got Jaden Daniels. I've got Lamar Jackson. Let's see. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got Brock Purdy. He's got Baker Mayfield. As an insurance policy, I would probably take another quarterback if I was that team. Same thing with average Joe's. As an insurance policy, I'd take another quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields. Justin Fields again, dude? Again? All right. I mean, it could work out. At least he got better weapons this time. I mean, I'll give you that, bro. Like, at least he's got better weapons. Let's see, Dak Prescott, who's always a pretty decent fantasy quarterback. Jared Goff. No, I'm not against that. Jared Goff's on a really good offense, and Joe Burrow. So everybody, I would say everybody other than that team have like really really dependable quarterbacks. It wouldn't hurt those, especially if a Justin Herbert's still out there. Go grab Justin Herbert if you can. If you if you need a good quarterback. Let's see here. Sippy sip. Just a sippy sip. Alrighty. So Rashad White got taken. Drake May. Okay. And then Xavier Legette. Let's see. Okay, we still got a little minute before we're up again. So we got like a run of running backs and quarterbacks that are still available. But all these quarterbacks right here are ones that just kind of make you not interested. They don't really do it for you. Let's see here. Gosh, Judkins. Who the heck is him? I don't see. He was actually guilty of that. He just didn't happen to get charges. And now, when I say guilty of that, because like the the report from the cops and all that stuff like that, but that's crazy. But we're not here to judge people. We're not here to say what they did or didn't do unless there's video proof of it, like some of these jackasses out here. Guys, walk away. Walk away. It's not worth it. If if she's hitting you, just walk away. That's the best thing you can do. And it because in this day, all they got to do say something, they got you. So guys and girls out there, walk away. It ain't worth it. Okay. Don't put your hands on anybody else like that. It's not worth it. All right, so we got Ayuk. So it looks like the Skins took the chance on Ayuk. Let's see, Algier, the good backup behind Bijan. Let's see, did he take Bijan? Because if he's got Bijan, then that's pretty smart to have the backup there, running back. No, he doesn't have Bijan. So this may be a good play to go and get that handcuff and maybe even make a trade for the Bijan owner. I mean, that's not a bad strategy right there. I mean, heck, I may sell Bigsby to the ETN owner if it doesn't work out. But then again, if Bigsby works out, man, I'm sitting pretty good. Let's see here. Win advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope people that are out there watching this, not just in this league, but that they can use some of this and help with their draft and maybe even go make some trades for some low key players that before they blow up. So I hope that helps a lot. So whatever I can do to help everybody win the championship, man, like it's such a great feeling when all the research you've done, it all comes full circle into fruition at the end of the season when you're holding that trophy, your league trophy, or you've got that you're putting that championship ring like we're gonna be doing this year, put that championship ring on your finger. So that ring should be here any day, any day. And there's a jeweler here in town. I'm gonna look and see what they're gonna charge us to have it custom engraved. So we're just gonna put your name. We're gonna put your team name like we did on the trophy. Um, I'm still debating whether or not we still pass the trophy around or not, because it just seems like that's more of a logistical nightmare than it's worth. Um, it's just at least with the ring, I can have the ring ordered and I can mail it directly to you. Like I know that I'm in charge of that. But I mean, it's nobody's fault about the trophy. I know, Greg, you say you got it in April, at the during the NFL draft. But Mick's got one of those important jobs. But Mick, come on, bro. But that's all right. We're gonna remedy that. We're gonna go with rings. So um, let's see here. What are we looking like? So what's our results? All right. So okay. So we got some defenses taking off now. We got some kickers, some defenses. I know it wasn't gonna last much longer, but round 12. This is around the time. Like, all right, I can kind of see that. So not bad. I'm not against it. We may look at it here. So Pittsburgh, Houston, and Baltimore defense are taken. Uh, that's fine. Let's look at our defenses real quick. All right. Oh, let's go here. Let's go all players. How is man? Why are y'all leaving Justin Herbert still available? That's crazy. That's crazy. What are y'all doing? All right, so man, Judkins. Because if Judkins hits, man, that's gonna be. Why am I wanting to take Judkins here? Why? I'm gonna hate myself for this. I'm gonna hate myself for that. Oh man. Man. I'm not very happy with myself right now. Well, I think if Judkins starts strong, I'm trading him real quick. Let's see here. What do we have? What do we have? Austin Eckler, spicy. Zach Ertz, bro. He don't play. Come on. What? Zach Ertz? All right, whatever. We got here. Oh wow! So I'm looking at it. Look, Kyle Pitts Sr. So somebody else named their kid after themselves. Okay, Kyle Pitts Sr. Anthony Richardson did it. He named his kid after himself. I mean, I know it happens, but if you're a junior or a senior, let me know in the comments. And because my question is what inspired you to name your child, your son, your same name, or what inspired your father to name you their same name? I've always been really curious about that. So if you're a junior or a senior, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see what the mindset behind that is. Not being rude. I'm genuinely curious. So Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen's a good little steal, man. That's a really good pick right here. Adam Thielen's been one of those guys that's just tried and true all the time. Um, that's right. so Greg here, so Greg here is actually a junior himself, and he named his son Gregory. So we call his son G3 actually. So so Greg, what and Eddie, okay. What is the mindset, Greg, since you not only are you a junior, but your son is a third. So let us know, man. Like, what's your what? I guess what the why did you want to?
carry on the name there. Let's go Braylon Allen. So why did you want to do that? Why did you want to continue that? I forgot. Honestly, forgot I was on the clock. That was a panic pick right there. But I like Braylon Allen, and he's looking really good in that offense, so I'm not worried about it. Uh, because if Hall goes down, then boom, I've got another piece of trade bait. Let's see, because you're fantasy football royalty. You are fantasy football royalty because you are a part of Kingmaker Sports, and you, sir, became a champion off of Kingmaker Sports knowledge. So yes, you in fact are fantasy football royalty. I love that. I love that. But do you have a crown though? I do. Let's see here. So it looks like nobody else believes in Caleb Williams either. He's still sitting there with all his painted fingernails and everything, just still sitting there. All right. See defenses, kickers, flexes. Man, this is a tough one because I normally don't draft a kicker or a defense just because at this point in the preseason, there's still so many players that are still out there trying to fight for a spot. So I don't know, it's hard to try and take a kicker in defense when there's players that could be quality additions to your team. So like a player like Colson Loveland, right, who you could take with a late pick right here instead of taking a kicker that man maybe get you 5 to 7 points on an average day, where Colson Loveland could blow up and get you. Gosh, Colson Loveland probably could get you 10 to 14 points on a good day in that offense. So it's not a. It's kind of one of those weigh your options. What's worth more to you? Waiting and seeing what happens, where you can just pick up a kicker and a defense the morning of the game or whatever. So, all right, see, we got a question here. All right, so Shadows Wicked says 1 man keeper league. Okay, keep Kyron Williams for the 8th rounder, or keep Brock Bowers for a 10th. Tight end slot in my league is tight end. Bro, Brock Bowers. I'm gonna go Brock because that 10th round, to lose a 10th rounder for Brock Bowers all day, all day. I'm going Brock Bowers here. That's a good question. Thank you. All right, so Kyron Williams to lose the 8th, or Brock Bowers in the 10th. I'm going Brock Bowers in the 10th because I feel like Kyron Williams is good, but Brock Bowers is phenomenal. Uh, you can't go wrong with Brock Bowers. I hope that helps you, man. Thank you for the question. That's awesome. Let's see here. Who is our so another kicker, Bucker, good kicker there. Detroit defense, Buffalo defense. So this is pretty much going to be our run of kickers and defenses to close out the draft. Pretty standard. Let's see here. A lot of quarterbacks that I'm seeing are left here for good reason. I mean, it's a one quarterback redraft with 5 bench spots. You don't want to waste one of your bench spots on a backup quarterback unless you're just not that confident in your starting quarterback. So that makes sense, especially with a Caleb Williams. Not crazy about that. JJ McCarthy is interesting if you have the deep bench, because yes, Addison is suspended for the first 3 games, but he's still got when he comes back, he's got McCarthy has Addison, Hawkinson, and he also has Justin Jefferson. So McCarthy could be interesting here if you have a deep bench. But obviously, like in this situation, we only have 5 bench spots. So you do not have a deep bench here. So you don't really want to carry a second quarterback. Um, Trevor Lawrence still being here still shows that a lot of people aren't putting a lot of stock in Travis Hunter being a dominant wide receiver, even though he's going to play probably about 80% receiver, though, just from what we've seen. But they're not thinking that he's going to add much to that offense. Excuse me. It's getting late here. It's about 10 o'clock here in Texas. So we've got 3 picks till our pick. Nick Chubb got taken. So Nick Chubb's an interesting one, man, because with Joe Mixon being hurt, which Joe Mixon's going to be fine. Luther Burden in Minnesota. So we're up right now. Okay, so Najee got taken. Okay, okay. Uh, let's go ahead and grab a defense here. Kickers, I could care less about kickers, man. They don't really change it. Let's see, defense, go projected points. Kansas City actually does have a decent defense. San Francisco, no. Dallas, no. You know what? Let's go. Let's go. I mean, the Jets normally always have a good defense, but I was big on the Robert Saleh defense there. Let's just go ahead and go Kansas City here. We'll go Kansas City defense. And then I'm going to weigh my options here on whether I want to go a flex or a kicker. Because there's some players here that I do like that I'd rather have on my team than not. And I can just probably pick a kicker up before the game starts. Let's see here. All right. So let's look. Receivers. I think I got enough running backs. Let's see. Allen. Dylan Sampson. Let's see here. Who do we like here, y'all? Who do we like here? It's the last pick of the draft. Go all players. Hmm. That still blows my mind. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is still here. Spears, Kyrie Fairbairn. All right. So somebody I was looking at here that I really like is going to be Trey Harris. Uh, so Trey Harris, he fits this offense really well, especially with oh man, with QJ going down, Quentin Johnson going down. I think Trey Harris is going to provide and produce here. Yeah, Lab McConkey is still the guy, man. Like he's still going to be the target hog, but they're going to have to pass to somebody else, and I think Trey Harris is going to do well. So for that reason, I'm going Trey Harris right here. as my last pick in the draft if he works out. I mean, because I got guys that I can get rid of. Like I can cut Braylon Allen if I need to. If I really feel like Trey Harris is more valuable than Braylon Allen, we've still got a whole other week of preseason to go through to see what we need to see from these guys, and we're looking really solid. It's a Jefferson Hill, Xavier Worthy, Jonathan Taylor, Travion Henderson, Jake Ferguson, Roma Dunze, Kansas City defense, and then our bench is Tank Bigsby, Jaden Higgins, Tyler Warren, Quinshon Judkins, Braylon Allen, Trey Harris. So I went a little running back heavy, but that's because I'm gonna use some of these as trade bait for other players. So let's see how this worked out here. So Benson is a really good handcuff right there. Cam Little is a really good kicker. That's a good pick right there. And then somebody always goes Kyle Pitts. Always. So that's what we're looking like here, y'all. I don't know. What do you think about this team? Let me know. We got Lamar Jackson, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy, Jonathan Taylor, Travion Henderson, Jake Ferguson, Roma Dunze, Kansas City defense, Tank Bigsby, Jaden Higgins, Tyler Warren, Quinshon Judkins, Braylon Allen, and Trey Harris. So notice the kicker spot is empty. The reason being is because kickers really don't make that much of a difference in a game as far as their fluctuation of points, their differential. So I'll just as easily hold these skill position players, and then the morning of the draft, the morning of week one, I'll go ahead and pick up a kicker and then cut one of these players, whichever one I feel is not producing. Um, and in this league, we also have one IR spot. So the good thing is if any of these players get hurt, then I can just slide them over to my IR spot, and then boom, that doesn't affect me at all. I can still just pick up a kicker and put them right in my starting lineup. That's not a problem. So let's recap a little bit here. Let's check it out. So round one, the first overall pick, Bijan Robinson. That blew my mind a little bit. I think Swole got a steal right there. Jamar Chase falling to number 2. Dude, what? That was great. I didn't expect to get Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase should have been the number 1 overall pick, in my opinion. But hey, people like who they like, and like I always say, get your guy, and if that's who you like, and go to it. And then we got Nico at number 7, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if this guy is a Texans fan, if that weighed in on that decision or not. But some other things, Genty at the 201, I think was a really good steal there. That's something we talked about. That's something we talked about before the draft. Is Genty going 112 in another league? I didn't disagree with that, but he went Nakua and Genty. I think that's a really good team right there. Nakua's got the relationship with Stafford, so I think that's going to do really well for the Skins right there, for the Skins. And but Bowers in the second kind of shocked me though. So this owner went Nico first overall, not first overall, but first round pick, and then went and took Bowers in the second. I kind of feel like he could have got Bowers in the third there. And then he went and took Mike Evans in the third. And then James Conner in the fourth. And David Montgomery in the flip is this guy doing? What the heck are you doing? Okay. What in the world? I didn't realize that team. All right, so this is the team right here. Average Joe's, which that's the old name right there. So Bo Nix is a quarterback. So you probably want to look for have a backup. Nico Collins, Mike Evans, and Jerry Jeudy are your starting wide receivers. Let that sink in for a second. All right. Next, James Conner and David Montgomery are your starting running backs. All right. Brock Bowers, your tight end. Can't complain there. That's solid. DeAndre Swift is your flex, who's probably not going to be your flex come game time. Matthew Golden, Khalil Shakir, Hunter Henry. What? Nick Chubb, Michael. Okay, this team sucks. This team sucks. I don't. Okay. Brock Bowers is your best player on your team. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. That seems really bad. All right, next. Let's see here. Okay, so right here. So Mr. Sausages, he auto drafted the first few picks. So let's see if that worked out in his favor. So here's the starting lineup here: Jared Goff, really good offense. Brian Thomas Jr., DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, Derrick Henry, Alex Kamara, not bad. David Njoku, so he went light on tight end, which is fine because he made up for it in running backs. And so he went in and took C.J. Stroud, who I think is going to have a really good year, to back behind Jared Goff, just in case something happens. Jared Goff is older, but he's in a really good offense. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that plan. C.J. Stroud has a pretty decent wide receiver room right now, which is why I took Jaden Higgins. Zach Charbonnet as a backup running back. I'm not against that. He's a good handcuff. He's one of my favorites that we've talked about on this show before. Jonnu Smith and Bashal Tootin. I don't think Bashal Tootin was somebody that I would take in redraft. Not with a 5-person bench, but clearly they believe in Tootin's ability and they think that Tootin could be a starter. So that's interesting to see. Let's see here. All right, let's go with no. We'll end on the defending champ. All right, so here's another one. Baker Mayfield starting quarterback. Amon-Ra St. Brown, JSN, Cortland Sutton, Josh Jacobs, Amarian Hampton, Travis Kelce. So far, not a bad squad, man. I like this squad. Flex, Juwan Jennings. And then we went Chris Godwin, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Bateman, Luther Burden, and Kyle Pitts Sr. Kyle Pitts Sr. So I'm not against it. I don't think Rashad Bateman should be on a redraft roster with a 5-person bench. But if you like Rashad Bateman, then do it, man. Do your thing. But overall, like I think that's a pretty good roster. I think that I like that roster a lot. Let's see here. Texans Navy. I think we kind of know what team they like. The Cowboys. So their quarterback, this is their starters: Brock Purdy, Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Tedroy McMillan, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Breece Hall as the running back. So not bad. Really strong running backs, I think. A lot of people are sleeping on Breece Hall because of Braylon Allen, but I still think Breece Hall is very good. Tucker Kraft, so because he went heavy on certain positions, he had to sacrifice at tight end, which is fine. Sometimes you do that and it pays off. Tucker Kraft's a good tight end that gets slept on. Caleb Johnson as a flex, who Caleb Johnson could be really good. Rashee Rice, this is a bench. Rashee Rice, Rashid Shaheed, Keon Coleman, Ray Davis, and Dallas Goedert. Rashee Rice could be good. I would probably start Rice over McMillan to start the season, but McMillan could come on for sure. So I really like this receiving core here. I think outside of Rashee Rice being on the bench, I'm not a fan of the bench. I think the bench is kind of weak on this team, but the starting roster I really, really like on this. Thank you for the evaluation. Yeah, man, I love doing this. I really enjoy this. Yeah, man, I I think you're going to do well there. Let's see here. Let's go to Swole, who took JD5 pretty early, but for good reason though. I mean, Jaden Daniels is a phenomenal quarterback. So he's got Jaden Daniels, Jamar Chase, already starting off strong, starting off so strong. Devonta Adams, Debo Samuel, Kyron Williams, Tyrone Tracy, T.J. Hawkinson, Michael Pittman Jr., and then this is the bench: Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who's so low on the depth chart right now, he's not even there on ESPN or anywhere else. But a lot of good reports for him out of camp. So maybe he's the reason why they're thinking they can trade Brian Robinson Jr. And then to continue on the bench spots, we got Christian Kirk, Zach Ertz, Adam Thielen, and Dylan Sampson. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So no surprise here. This owner, he always has a hefty amount of Washington players. 4 is pretty standard. No surprise here. As far as the roster, I like it. I'm not a fan of. It's not very strong at running back, but everywhere else it looks pretty decent. So I'm not against it. I think this is a decent roster. See FPC 365, whatever the heck that means. So Mahomes, who hasn't been great for fantasy the past year or two, but that's fine. I think Mahomes is gonna come out with a chip on his shoulder and do pretty well. AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Josh Downs, Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Evan Ingram, Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray. I like some of these players. I don't think it's a very strong roster though, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get back to our evaluations here. Let's refresh. So we were at, let's check TDs and beer. I don't think we checked them out yet. All right, so TDs and beer. This is what theirs looking like. We got Jalen Hurts, CeeDee Lamb. So again, pretty good start with quarterback and wide receivers. Zay Flowers, Jacoby Myers, Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard. So a couple pretty solid, low-key, cheaper running backs. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good running back room. Mark Andrews, who's going to eat with Isaiah Likely being hurt. So look for a big year for Mark Andrews. Travis Hunter is their flex, which is interesting. I don't think that's a horrible flex for this team build right here, but I mean it could be okay. It's there's been worse out there. And then the bench: Joe Mixon, Darnell Mooney, Justin Herbert, Pat Freiermuth, Trey Benson. I like Trey Benson and I like Justin Herbert. The rest of it I could give it. But overall, man, I don't think this is a bad team. I think this could be a playoff contending team just based on the workload that these players are going to get. So I don't think this roster is anything to be mad at. I think that's pretty decent. All right, so new guy Mick, Kingmaker's own Mick. You'll see him on our episodes on Tuesdays when we go live, Tuesday nights. We go live at 8:30 Central Time. That's where you'll see myself, Mick, and Slayton talking all things fantasy football. So his team at the helm, we got Dak Prescott, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Chris Olave, Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Dalton Kincaid, and James Cook. About as solid of a starting roster, I think, as you can get. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, I think you're good. Looking at who's your other running backs here. So Rashad White, all right. Isaac Grindo, all right. So if McCaffrey goes down, then you got James Cook to step in, and that's fine. That works out. And then you could possibly bump up either Diggs or Ibuka, and then I think you'd be okay. It looks like he went with the same strategy I did and didn't even bother with the kicker because it doesn't make a difference. So I like that because now someone like Josh Palmer, easily droppable. Isaac Garindo, I would hold on to as that McCaffrey insurance. So, But yeah, Josh Palmer, easily droppable. So you're not missing anything there. That's insane. They got Ibuka 0 points projected. What the heck are they thinking over there in Yahoo? This is why probably next year we're gonna go away from Yahoo and go to Sleeper, because Sleeper, I just like what they are doing over there at Sleeper. Our Kingmaker Sports League that we'll be doing the draft next Saturday is over there. But anyway, so back to mixed evaluation. I think this is a really strong team. I think this is a playoff favorite just as it looks right now. And then if Ibuka blows up and does well, then dude, you're sitting good. Real good. All right, who else we got? Last one. Let's go. Let's pick a last one. Let's go. Let's go to skins. All right, so the skins. So a quarterback I like a lot, Joe Burrow, with Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jordan Addison, who's suspended, uh, Ashton Genty, Isaiah Pacheco, Sam Laporta, Brian Robinson Jr., Ramondre Stevenson, Keenan Allen, Tyler Algier, Brandon Ayuk, and Marvin Mims Jr. Man, honestly, outside of so you got Burrow, Nacua, and Genty, who I really, really like. I think you've got some really. I think this team has some really awesome foundational pieces. You've got a good quarterback. You've got at least one good wide receiver in Puka Nacua. You've got a good running back in Ashton Genty. You've got a good tight end in Sam Laporta. But everything outside of that, I'm not crazy about. I think that if this team makes the playoffs, it's going to be on the back of Burrow, Nacua, and Genty. That's going to be a tough one. This is a tough evaluation here, but I think the team's okay. I'm not crazy about it, but I think it's okay. What do they got for Detroit defense? Young Ho Koo. Yep, but anyhow, that was our live draft. This is not a mock draft. This is a real draft of my original fantasy football league that's been going strong for many, 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 many years. So thank you for joining us on Kingmaker Sports for this. We look forward to seeing you Tuesday nights with myself, Mick, and Slayton, as we will be talking about fantasy implications for all of the preseason games, upcoming drafts. So stay tuned for that. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button so that way you don't miss anything when we go live. So just like it says right there on the screen, go ahead, do that. You will not be disappointed, and we'd love to interact with you in the comments. Again, I will see you on Tuesday, and let's go win some ships. Later, y'all.